Have you ever wished there was a user manual for life? Some kind of blueprint for building a successful one? Well, today, we're going to dive into the ancient wisdom of Proverbs chapter 12 to find just that. It's this incredibly direct, no-nonsense guide to building a life of principle and purpose. Right out of the gate, the chapter just lays it all on the line. It presents a stark choice that sets the stage for everything else. It's basically asking you a fundamental question. Are you willing to learn, to be corrected, and to grow? Or are you totally closed off? Seriously, every single idea in this chapter flows from the answer to that one question. So what even is wisdom, according to this text? Well, it's probably not what you think. It's not about having all the answers or being the smartest person in the room. Nope. It's about having the humility to know that you don't. True wisdom, we're told, begins with a very simple choice. The choice to be teachable, to actually listen to advice instead of just assuming you're always right. And here's where the rubber meets the road. The core difference really comes down to this. The wise are defined by their willingness to listen. The foolish, on the other hand, are trapped by their own certainty. So it seems the path of wisdom doesn't begin with speaking. It begins with opening your ears. Okay, so that choice to listen, that's just the starting line. It's the gateway to the chapter's huge central theme, the idea that our inner character fundamentally shapes our outer world. We're not talking about luck or chance here. We're talking about who we are at our core, literally determining the path we walk. Man, the imagery used here is just so powerful. It's this incredible contrast between stability and total chaos. The righteous are described like a deep-rooted tree. You just can't shake them. Their house stands firm. But the wicked, they have no foundation at all. They are overthrown, and then, poof, they're simply gone. It's the ultimate difference between permanence and ruin. And this is where it gets really deep. True character isn't about big, showy gestures. It's revealed in how we treat those who are completely at our mercy. For the righteous, that means caring for animals. But for the wicked, get this, even their kindest acts are described as cruel. That just shows you. Character, it suggests, runs all the way down to your very core. The message here is crystal clear. Our inner character creates our external reality. It's almost like a law of physics. A good character attracts favor and safety. A wicked one? Well, that just invites trouble and condemnation. You don't just have a character. You live out its consequences, for better or for worse. So if our inner character shapes our world, how exactly does it do that? The chapter zooms right in on our most powerful tool, our words, and it makes it plain. They are not just sounds. They're like tools that can be either medicine or weapons, with the power to heal or to completely destroy. The two paths for our words couldn't be more different. I mean, look at this. The wise tongue brings healing and peace, and its truth lasts. But reckless words, they're compared to swords. They come from a place of deceit, and they vanish as quickly as a lie. And it goes even deeper than that. Our words aren't passive. They are active forces in the world. The right words can be a lifeline, literally rescuing you from trouble. But the wrong words, they become a net, trapping you in your own deception. Now, this is just incredible. Think about this. Thousands of years before modern psychology, this text absolutely nails the crushing weight of anxiety, describing it as a feeling that weighs down the heart. And it offers a simple, powerful antidote, a kind word. What an amazing insight into the direct power our speech has on the well-being of others. Okay, so our character shapes our words, but what about our actions? The final theme here is intensely practical. It's all about the profound difference between actually doing the work and just, well, dreaming about it. For the diligent, the path to success is laid out like a clear formula. Step 1, you do the work. That leads to having enough, which then leads to having real substance, and ultimately it leads to authority and influence. It's a straightforward, practical chain of cause and effect. Boom, boom, boom. But what's the alternative? Here's the paradox. Avoiding work doesn't lead to freedom. It actually leads to the exact opposite. Inaction, the text warns, ends in a loss of control, what it calls forced labor, basically being subject to the will of others. So here, the line is drawn in the sand between reality and fantasy. You've got the person who works their land dealing with what's real, and then you have the person who just chases fantasies. The message is a pretty clear endorsement of action over unproductive daydreaming. So we've seen all these contrasts, wise versus foolish, diligent versus lazy. So where does this path of wisdom and good words and hard work ultimately lead? Well, the chapter points to one final, single destination: And here it is, the grand finale, the ultimate promise. Following this path of wisdom, being teachable, building character, using words that heal, and acting with diligence, it doesn't just lead to a better life. The text says it leads to life itself, a state of true permanence, immortality. And that leaves us with this question to chew on. This ancient text insists that both our words and our actions matter profoundly. But in our world today, where digital talk is constant and cheap, which one truly defines us? What really says who you are? It's a question from thousands of years ago that feels more relevant right now than ever.